Hello, I'm Sam Carp, SportsPro's features editor, reporting to you again from the centre of Paris, where the second week of the Olympic Games are now in full swing. Funnily enough, just before I started recording this, I had a friendly local come over and tell me that she's not actually enjoying the Games all that much. Having said that, week one of the Olympics was dominated by stories of resurgence in areas like viewership, attendances, sponsorship activity, although the IOC has found itself wrapped up in a massive gender row. We've also had our first viral superstar of these games in the form of Turkish shooter Yusuf Tikeç, although I'm not sure he's had quite as much screen time as Snoop Dogg up to now. In recent days I've been at the 100-metre final, I've been talking to USA Gymnastics CEO Lyles about the commercial impact of Simone Biles, as well as on location about their debut as the Olympic hospitality provider. That's all to come in this third episode of the Olympic Briefing. Now, these are being billed as the first gender-equal Olympics with the same number of male and female athletes competing in the Games for the first time. However, the IOC has found itself at the heart of a culture war involving Algeria's Amani Khalif and Taiwan's Lin Yuting, who had been competing in the women's boxing 1 year after being disqualified from the World Championships for failing gender eligibility tests. There's been particular scrutiny over the involvement of Khalif following her round of 16 victory last week over Italy's Angela Carini, who withdrew just 46 seconds in and said after that she had never been hit so hard. Thomas Bach leapt to the defence of both fighters over the weekend, saying they had been victims of hate speech, and the IOC has cast doubts over the accuracy of the tests done by the Russian-led IBA, which is no longer recognised as the governing body for the sport. However, the IOC did issue a correction after Bach's press conference, in which he said that this is not a DSD case. He actually meant to say that this is not a transgender case, perhaps highlighting the complexity of the issue. Khalif is already guaranteed a medal and next fights on Tuesday night in the semi-final. For those of you watching on video, the reason I might be looking a little bit tired, or even sounding a little bit tired recording this, is because I'm doing so the day after attending the 100-metre final, one of the most anticipated sporting events in the world, which was held at the Stade de France in Saint-Denis. Now, you might remember that there were some questions raised about the suitability of that venue for hosting major events such as this, following the debacle that was the 2022 Champions League final, which saw kick-off delayed as Liverpool fans were penned in outside, they couldn't get in, some were tear-gassed, there were also reports of fans being robbed by local residents. I'm not going to lie, I saw no evidence of that happening last night. There was once again a really heavy security presence, which might have deterred anyone who was thinking about disrupting the event. It also felt that quite a lot had been invested in wayfinding to ensure that fans weren't all being funneled through one entrance, and I'd probably also make the point that an athletics meet is a little bit different to a football game where fans are all arriving at one time for a designated kickoff. It was definitely a little bit harder getting out of the venue, some bottlenecks forming as you got towards the main stations, but nothing too different to coming out of Wembley after a major football match or a concert. On the track, Team USA's Noah Lyles won gold in what was probably the closest 100-metre final ever, which was decided by 0.05 of a second. Here's what he said after when asked by ESPN about what impact he wants his victory to have both on his personal brand and on the sport of athletics.
I want my own shoe. I want my own trainer. I'm dead serious.
Sneak?
Exactly.
Spike.
No, I want a sneaker. There ain't no money in spikes. There's money in sneakers. And even Michael Johnson didn't have his own sneaker. You know, I feel like for the how many medals we bring back, for the notoriety we get, you know, the fact that hasn't happened, that's crazy to me. I was like, yeah, that needs to happen. I want to see a continuation of the ability to take advantage of moments for our sport. Sprint came out, it did amazing. And I know that season 2 is already being filmed. You know, we've been, of course, they right over there, but they've been doing a good job and getting already our name out. So what we need to do as a sport is take advantage and say, hey, we need to make this as available as possible for people to come and watch. Not you have to go in through back alley websites to try and find or pay to watch websites to be able to get a hold of this. You know, this needs to be accessible because this is a world sport. So we need to be able to show it to the world.
Lyles might have to wait and see if his sponsors at Adidas agree with him. The one athlete who almost certainly deserves her own logo on the back of these Olympics is Simone Biles, who at the time of recording has won gold in every competition she's competed in here in Paris, capping a remarkable comeback after she withdrew from competition in Tokyo to focus on her mental health. Now, as you might know, we here at SportsPro produce a list of the world's 50 most marketable athletes every year, so I couldn't resist asking USA Gymnastics CEO Lyles whether she thinks that Simone Biles is the most marketable athlete at these Olympics, and also just kind of to discuss the commercial impact her comeback has had for sponsors.
She's iconic.
Yeah.
I can't really say anything other than that she is the greatest of all time. She's now won 39 world and Olympic medals, so the winningest gymnast in all time as well. And yes, the following around her has been tremendous. She's raised the visibility of the sport of gymnastics, not only in the U.S. but globally too.
Tickets to see Biles in the flesh have been really hot property, and some people might have even been willing to pay that little bit extra to get a better view of her in action from hospitality. Those who have been buying hospitality tickets here in Paris have been doing so through On Location. This is the first Olympics where all hospitality is being centrally managed by the Endeavour-owned company, which has a reported $1.3 billion deal with the IOC up to and including LA28. Last week I got a sneak peek at one of their central hospitality venues at Palais de Tokyo, where I spoke to their Chief Commercial Officer Scott Jernigan about the scale of the operation here in Paris.
We have hospitality all included at 130 different sites, and we're at Clubhouse, which is an incredible venue, and there's two elements. There's a lot of different packages that we offer. Clubhouse specializes in the, we started at around 100 euros, and we've built an Olympic experience where it's not obviously we're not in a venue. They can go enjoy their day, maybe hit 2 different events and come to Clubhouse, watch a session or whatever they want to do, and pop in and pop out as they please. So we've tried to think through the guest experience. What is that product that people want across from the top stakeholders to consumers, individuals? We've had over 120 countries purchase hospitality through On Location. So, when we think about our hospitality products, obviously we're thinking through Paris. How do we highlight the city of Paris, but also a wide range of consumers around the world as well.
Jernigan said that one of the most popular events for hospitality has been the beach volleyball, which is being played at a temporary stadium underneath the Eiffel Tower, making it probably the most Instagrammable venue at these Olympics. If you hadn't had a chance to get along yet, though, fear not, because I had it confirmed to me exclusively over the weekend that the FIVB is working on a proposal to bring events back to that venue on an annual basis. Perhaps something in the future to look forward to then, but that's it for this third episode of the Olympic Briefing. Join me again on Friday for a rundown of the rest of Week 2, where we'll also be hearing from US OPC Chief Executive Sarah Hirschland, as well as IPC President Andrew Parsons ahead of the Paralympic Games. Thanks for tuning in.